Och igår tvingade chatten mig att äta upp någon av byborna. Eller Londonborna.
Ja, så du är liksom... Ja men så du är liksom en regelrätt vampyr då, i princip?
Ja, jag är en mycket förvirrad före detta läkare. De vaknade upp som vampyr och har inte en aning om vad han håller på med.
Ja, just det.
Men nu har han blivit anställd av en superläkare på ett sjukhus för att studera sjukdomen eller något i den stilen.
Ja. Lät ju pretty interesting, actually.
Det var kul för den där som vi åt upp igår hette Cox.
Cox.
Så skämtet hela natten var We ate some Cox. Kul.
I love to eat Cox.
I love to eat Cox.
It is. Don't you also love to eat Cox? Don't you also love to eat Cox?
Isn't all women?
Gör de? Gör de det?
Jag vet inte. Tror du kvinnor älskar det?
Du menar lika så mycket som alla killar älskar att gå ner på sina flickvän?
Exakt.
Not.
Det är väl en mänsklig skyldighet.
Ja, det tycker jag. Jag tycker att det är ganska trevligt, ja.
Den enda jag vet som inte tycker om det är Johan.
Men det är för att han... Vad sa du? Nej, vi streamar inte.
Good evening, Nurse.
Jag streamar.
Good evening, Doctor. I
Jaha.
don't think we've been introduced yet.
Ja,
My name is
detaljer.
Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke
Oh,
Hospital?
hello.
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc
How are you
amongst the
doing?
staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Oh, nice.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Get a
You
grip.
must get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has
Oh.
any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Oh, thanks,
Well,
dude.
long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how
Yeah, sure.
qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning
Ja, just det.
doctors.
Den vapensmugglande
Why does Milton dislike
taxichaffisen.
doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him.
Vadå, jag?
Ja,
Be
du ja.
warned. Milton
Nej,
is
Milton.
not the chatty type.
Jaha.
Han kör ambulanser och smugglar vapen.
Is it just an act?
Jag trodde du
Milton's
faktiskt
not the kind
pratade
of
om
man
mig
who's bothered
eftersom
about
att jag jobbar
reputation,
med det jag jobbar
whether
och
he
jag håller på
deserved
att
it or
lota
not.
vapen.
Så du är väl inte taxichaffis? Ändå.
Nej, det är jag inte, men
Goodbye.
jag tänkte att det var ännu en av dina grova överdrifter.
Hade kunnat vara. Jag tror Milton buggade ur igår. Snurrade runt och gick baklänges in i en vägg. Nu är han borta. Det blir så när man smugglar vapen.
Ja, för fan.
Do not cough in public. Prevent disease. Careless spitting, sneezing, coughing, spreading influenza. Spread by droplets. Do not cough in public. Det här spelet var lite före sin tid, du.
Ja.
Kom ut 2018 det här, tror jag.
It's the Rona all over again.
Exakt. Fast nu är det The Spanish Flu och Murders Vampires.
Ja. Men det är nästan samma sak.
Ja, exakt. Vi väljer skills här. Place a cloud of shadows at the target's feet or yours. The cloud will explode after a short damage time. Blood. Vet inte, det är så tidigt i spelet, då tycker jag det är svårt att satsa i skills när man inte riktigt vet vad det är man kommer behöva.
Det köper jag, så är det för nog fan. Alltså, så har jag tänkt med många spel. Typ Assassin's Creed Odyssey var också så här. I början var det typ inte ens värt att lägga på att det är skills, tyckte jag. För det var ju bättre att spara poängen för att sen kunna rodda hårt liksom.
Ja, exakt. Defensive. Nej, men defense sket man väl i. Spring? You can perform a supernatural move to your target to cause damage upon landing. What? Det vill vi ha. Shadow Veil. 5...
Cause damage upon landing.
Drain your stamina to fade into the shadows and become invisible to most enemies. Moving in this stealth will drain more stamina. Men shadow. Det är väl ingen jävla smygare. Vi kör spring, det är väl coolt det. Nu är vi klara.
Jag tycker det är för jävligt att man ska behöva krypa utifrån. Krypa under eller klättra över stängsel när man ska ut på militärbaser. Tycker jag är för jävligt det.
Ja.
Vad har hänt med väg ut liksom?
Ja just det, vi dödade Cox. Men sänkte vi hälsan på hela distriktet.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital are you running? No antiseptics?
You have been away too long, Doctor. With the war and now this epidemic, supplies have been running scarce for months now.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke.
A
And
chance.
space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Hur man sa fat chance på
It's
1800-talet.
locked, all right.
At chance.
Ja.
Jag vet inte. Tror du?
Jag vet inte, det lät konstigt. Min karaktär bara, vart är förrådsrummet? Och nursen bara, fat chance.
Va?
Det är inte så mycket med plats under krig och epidemi tydligen. Är det här kanske?
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
I need to investigate. Oh Jesus Christ. Oj. Jag gillar inte det där vapnet. Måste byta.
Är det en vampyr som behöver vapen? Vad är det för jävla fattig vampyr?
Sant.
Nu kom mitt klasshat fram där.
Ja, men det var ju rätt.
Så det är galet hur stor den här jävla mappen är alltså. Alltså det är fan långt till allt.
Alltså.
På den här mappen är det värt att skaffa en bil i alla fall.
Varför är det någon skillnad på den där mappen? Alltså, vad heter det? Vad är reglerna på den här mappen då?
Ja, just servern jag spelar på nu är ju bara PvE, men det tog jag ju bara för att kunna kolla in mappen lite.
Ja.
Och så för att prova. Sen tycker jag att Daisy PvE kan vara ganska kul om det är svårt, men det här verkar inte så svårt dock.
Har jag ingen pistol equippad? Okej. Quarantine zone, influenza, keep out of this area, board of health. Okay. Fel håll. Det är hit det ska. Lät inte bra. Loading. Har du lyssnat igenom, vad heter det? Paolo-grejen?
Nej, inte riktigt. Jag ska. Jag har inte hunnit med än.
Ja, alltså jag har bara liksom typ hajtat till den lite.
Okej, ja men det är bra.
Vad är det hit jag skulle?
Jag kommer alldeles strax.
Mm. Det vill jag inte ut. Mm. Vad är det här inne? Det måste ju vara på övervåningen. Eller vill de att jag ska gå? Nej, det är låst.
I cannot enter. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Hej. Ames.
It's locked,
Låst.
all right.
Ingen nyckel någonstans.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
Basement. Sure will. Va?
Oj.
Ah!
Oj. Vadå? Ah.
Vampyren hoppar på mig. Jag är för dålig på att dodga.
It's locked.
Nu råkar jag stänga av Discord-streamen. Vi se hur vampyr ser ut då. Ja men nu, ja det kollar jag på förut när du lirar också.
Det här
Ser
är...
ju fett ut ändå.
Ja, jag trodde det var värsta... Alltså, vad heter det? B-titeln, men det är ju snyggt som fan. Alltså, för att vara ett... Jag tror inte det är AAA-studio som har gjort det direkt.
Alltså den här snubben var ju kul i min chatt. Will admin replace my Bronco if I drove it into the river and lost it?
These skulls feed
tror
from
jag.
corpses and the husks
Eller
of
om
animals.
admin gör det så är det ju tråkigt.
Hunt after blood.
Då är admin sämst.
Varför jag menar, kör man sin bil ner i sjön så får man ju skylla sig.
Lite va? Men varför skjuter jag när jag tänker att jag ska ladda om?
Och
Ja,
du typ smyga på det folk om du ska heala och suga i det blod då.
ja
Då
precis.
typ eller? Nice.
Jag kan suga andra vampyrer också. Kom då.
Nu blir det... Nu bryter det, vet du, Twitch TOS.
Ja, precis.
När du sitter och säger att du ska böga. Inte för att det är något fel med att böga, så är det klart.
Nej, precis. Det är Twitch som tycker att det är fel.
Ja, det hade inte förvånat mig, för Twitch ägs av Amazon.
It's locked.
Ja,
Och tycker att Jeff Bezos ser ut som en liksom HBTQ-kämpe.
ja just det. New citizen investigation is available. Citizen investigation is applied here across group as district. You can start a new citizen quest by tracking it. Va? Vad låste jag upp för quest? Jag fick inte se. Death report. Samuel Connor, Caucasian male. Elimination, Dr. Connor.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report.
Är inte såhär Caucasian? Är inte det typ såhär
It's
vit
locked,
människa?
all right.
Jo. Jo, precis. Jag undrar om det där var han med face-skadorna. Där är han. Nej, det var Elwood. Han är Connors då.
Var det en som heter Pippi där?
Pippi? Tippets.
Pippa var det.
Pippa, ja precis. Milton Hooks. Han den som var vem? I don't know. Vilket nytt vapen. En Linston knife. Blood absorption. Okej.
Är så att du suger ur blod när du hugger dem.
Jag måste ju vara så. Måste
Fan,
hitta
vad
någon,
king.
hitta någon att hugga. Där har vi någon att hugga. Oops, här var det 2 stycken. Ah! Vad hände? Ah, hjälp, vad hände? Det är ingenting. Ah, slut på stamina. Flytta på dig. Ah! Jag behöver fan lite blod. Den där blodgrejen sög. Den ska vi inte ha fortsatt använda.
Sög den blod.
Fire is your weapon. Brö. Så att vi hade vi har en anmälan på att titta online nu.
Ja, jag sa det. Nu måste vi.
Nu måste vi. Oj, nice. Börjar någonstans. Var det här? Ja, jag vill inte ha den där. Frågan är om vi ska köra den där. Nom 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 nom. Oj, hjälp. Nice. Så gör man. Vi kan ta oss runt den här grejen. Nej, kunde vi inte. Wow. K9. Jag vet inte vart jag är och vad jag håller på med. Jävlar.
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Och jag listar den ut bara av det där.
It's locked.
Sjukvårdens Sherlock Holmes. Jag önskar jag hade en head torch eller någonting. Oh, jäklar, jag trodde han skulle dö. I thought he would die. Där kommer jag. då kommer jag in hit. Då är det bara ett ställe kvar där. Oj. John Doe. Jag fick en boss eller? Fan, jag missade. Ja, det är han.
These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
Oh. Drink blood is so tempting.
Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Ja, jag hatar när man känner att man bara måste dricka blod.
Ja, faktiskt. Det är fett jobbigt faktiskt. Vilken nu då? Light blood serum. Cigarette case. Vad får vi? 25 damage. 15 20. Rätt mycket bättre än den där. Det står hacksa. Nej, jag hade ingen common handle plate. Jag får det av någon av de här. Det var det väl ingen jävla idé då? Hela friden. Vad är det då? Jag missat något eller? Det finns ingen minimap heller. Jag saknar Ferrus tartarate. Where is me Ferrus tartarate?
It's locked, all right.
Locked all right. Här inne? Nej. No. Här inne? Nej. Undrar vad man själv kommer göra för ljud när man dör.
Ja.
Antagligen kommer man typ låta jättetöntigt. Inte alls cool som på tv-spel. Jag såg att han gick förbi här, tog han vägen. Jävlar, de är ju 2. Nej, han är inte... nej. Va? Alltså... hur ska man kunna dodga det där? Alltså... Åh, kul. Jag gillar inte att det är massa quest markers i det här spelet. Hade varit mer nice om det inte var quest markers.
Alltså va? Despawnade den här precis framför ögonen på mig eller?
Vadå för något?
Ett bra jävla gevär.
Men det verkar vara en bugg i det där spelet att vad heter det, saker finns men som inte finns. Det flera...
Nej, det är bara när det laggar liksom.
Men jag tycker jag har sett flera streams där det är så här saker försvinner typ framför ögonen på dem, eller att de är där men inte är det.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
This sickness moves faster than influenza. Va? Jaha. Vad går den där för? Yeah. Hallå, jag kan inte ens...
It's locked, all right.
Där är någonting åt det här som jag missar. 2 meter, jaha. Jag tar in.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Blur, 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 blur. Va? Hur... Där. Va? Nej! Eller PlayStation.
Ja, är det PS du köper?
Ja. Skicka fel rapport till Sony. Sony Boney.
Honey boy.
Sonny boy. Sen delade jag upp det där klippet på 3 delar. För komisk effekt. Tänkte jag man kan peta in så här typ jingle har någon så här kort typ 2 minuters grej emellan. Som en liten
precis.
så här Monty Python intermission typ. And now for something completely else. På något ställe där, vad heter det? Jag kommer inte ihåg om det är Paolo eller någon som säger att han har lösningen. Nej, han säger någonting såhär, vi måste sluta grina typ.
Ja, fan.
Ska vi diskutera en lösning typ? Och där har jag brutit. Och sen så tänkte jag att man kan ju säga så här, ja. Och så kommer man tillbaka, då är det ju Alexander Bard som bara nej, vi måste diskutera klart där. Och så fortsätter han. Örssan, jävla skit. Men det är så galet också det där klippet när man lyssnar på det, att de håller på och tjatar om att det är så här, att det är så här, att de har organiserat sig och att det är så här bla 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 liksom.
Ja,
men sen så
det är rätt det är rätt liksom kontroversiella grejer de säger.
Ja, men också att de så här typ jag menar, han håller ju på och tjatar om att män inte ska så här sitta och grina och organisera sig ihop och så här vara. Men så är det ju precis det han har gjort, startat någon så här, du vet, bootcamps och grejer eller vad det nu allting är för någonting.
Ja, fan då.
Han bara, du har ju gjort det. Så här. Jätterandom.
Men så du vet, om han gör det, då är det okej.
Ja. Ja, verkligen.
Såklart, alltså det är att han har ju rätt.
Exakt. Och sen så gillar jag att slutklämmen på alltihopa, det blir ju typ att lösningen är att måste sätta på fler feminister.
Ja, fan, det är skitknepigt det där alltså.
Ja. Det tror jag blir jättebra. Det är så här, vi diskuterar ganska tunga frågor i så här 20 minuter. Och vad är slutsatsen av allt det hela? Jo, vi måste sätta på feminister så de slutar vara bitter. Ja, så dumt liksom. Det blir askul, det var en bra idé det där.
Ja, jag tror nog att många kommer nog, alltså jag tror att folk har väl fattat att att de där två är helt jävla blåsta i huvudet.
Ja.
Men jag tror att många kommer nog tappa hakan lite. Alltså de som inte har koll liksom.
Ja, jag tror man kommer.
Alltså jag trodde ju inte alls att någon av dem var så här galen liksom.
Nej, man trodde inte att det var så där illa liksom. Verkligen inte. Vart fan ska?
Men det är ju verkligen foliehattsvarning liksom.
Ja, definitivt. Det är ju idéer som är verkligen sinnessjuk. Och sen att de är så jävla arg att Alexander Bard är så här typ Det värsta han vet är byråkrati. Att det är så här. Det är liksom fiende nummer 1.
Ja. Ja, men absolut. Jag tycker också att byråkrati är lite jobbigt sådär, men alltså... Men lite form av jävla... Ja, men alltså... Lite seriös lär man ju vara liksom.
Ja, verkligen. What? Välkommen till viewer nummer 2. Kul att du är här. Whoop. Vad heter det? Iframe. Fel knapp. Wow, han dodgar mig. Vilken AI. Alltså den här steken är ju grym. Den jag måste uppgradera. Ska vi hitta en plånbok här någonstans? Där var den. A photography in a wallet. A photography of a smiling and loving couple. With a few words written on the back. Milton and Pippa forever.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item.
De pippar väl?
Those two have hidden their affections well.
Jag löste ett sidequest nu då. Det såg ut som att man kunde gå in här. Kunde man inte. Oj, här är det series. Är det en skurk eller? Det är ju en skurk till. Är det massa skurkar?
Jag trodde det var du som var vet du, skurken i den här.
Nej, de här är ju skurkarna, vampyrjägarna. Åh, de var level 14, jävlar. Jag tror inte jag ska vara här. Don't think it's supposed to be here. Help! Nu måste vi ifrågasätta Milton, varför han...
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
You should.
It's locked, all right.
Vem har vi här då?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague. Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana. Broker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Låter skumt.
Do you need medical attention?
I'm feeling all right, doctor. But perhaps it is because I, too, am used to the smell of the dead.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Som att du inte kan lista
poor
ut det själv.
fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too.
Oh.
Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you
How
get
did you
the
get
job?
this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago.
Jag har nog aldrig kommit från en militärbas med så här mycket loot.
She
Jaså?
must be very relieved now.
Jag har fyllt en 100 slottsbag, en 90 slottsbag, en 200 slottsjacka, en 80 slotts väst plus lite till med vapen och grejer.
Ja. Nice. En tur då.
Ja, jo men alltså jag tror att det är inte så. Jag tror att på den här servern så är det nog inte så svårt så att säga.
I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Förlåt. Hur är jag tillbaka?
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very
Nästa gång vi
unhygienic,
spelar så måste vi
even
ta
unsafe.
en militärbas.
Diseases can spread.
Ja, fan.
Eller en flygbas.
For the hospital.
I'm
Gärna.
very cautious, sir.
Vore kul att
I've
springa in
been
på
a
de där.
doctor, remember?
Vad säger
And
men?
all my clients are
Ja, men alltså jag tänker så här att om man smyger lite och samlar upp lite loot
What kind of goods?
Mm.
with the quarantine.
och liksom
it's not always easy
ja
to
men
buy.
gör så att det inte att man lotar upp så att det liksom inte spelar så stor roll ifall man dör.
Ja.
I like to
Man bara kan springa tillbaka och hämta lite gear, då tror jag att det blir lite roligare.
Since you're not afraid
Ja,
of dying,
precis.
do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life and I'd like to live a long life. But
Här
everything has
fanns
to
ju
be
givetvis
paid,
ingenting.
sir. Even goodwill.
När jag precis behöver medicin.
So you're ready to die?
No, I'm not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed, I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Jag gillar systemet att man måste låsa upp hints för att kunna fortsätta prata med gubbar.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Säljer du då? A formula written on a piece of paper seems so complex and needs to be analyzed. Opium? Codeine. Håller massa. Kan jag sälja grejer? Ingenting för någonting. Köpmåns. Jag måste hitta Milton och ge tillbaka hans plånbok och fråga varför han ligger med Pippa. Där någonstans. Vart är Pippa någonstans? Där är Milton.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Har något annat att säga?
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues?
Vad är det för
Milton?
fråga?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen
Jesus
babies
Christ.
left to die while their brothers
Min
were
karaktär är
properly
hård som
fed.
fan nu.
Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
Stenhård.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Jesus.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
40 spänn.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all
Nice.
that matters.
Fint.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's nothing wrong with what we're doing.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm fine, Doc. Physically, at least. But I would give everything to be in a better place right now.
Vad
I'd
kunde
like
du
to see
säga?
Uh,
your goods.
Wise choice, Doctor.
Miltons shotgun. 196 damage, herregud. Vet inte vad jag behöver. Pippa. Vart är Pippa någonstans? Alla ser ju lika ut. Är det någon som är trött?
Yes, Doctor?
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large...
Why then do you always work the nights? Don't you ever sleep?
At the Pembroke, we're always hands on deck.
Your dedication to the Pembroke does you credit, Nurse Crane, but when do you sleep?
We staff get our sleep when we can, Doctor. Nursing is a vocation, not the labor of a journeyman.
Lack of sleep and the medical profession always ends in disaster. I've witnessed many a colleague succumb to stimulants
Att man
to
inte
fight
blir misstänksam
exhaustion.
av det facet.
Drugs were as deadly as bullets in the trenches.
London's trenches start here at Pembroke Hospital. We are on the front line, make no mistake.
That's all for now, nurse.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you...
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Is there anything else that's bothering you? Can I help in any way?
I'm all right. Considering the state of this place, I should consider myself lucky, I guess.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Du är fortfarande lokaliserad. Bråkar ni på ditt jobb ofta om professionella opinions?
Nej, jag tror inte det.
Jag vet inte vad ni skulle kunna bråka om. Rätt sätt att svara telefon eller
Nej, men det skulle väl kanske vara...
hur man skriver in saker i något program eller någonting.
Ja, alltså... Ja, jo, det skulle vara det här då.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Vi hittar Pippa. Yay. Vi frågar hennes rätt in i Milton.
I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the rules?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore.
Jesus, som tittar in i kameran och så.
We break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Do you need medical help yourself, nurse?
I'm fine, really. I just need to sleep.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Goodbye, nurse. Det här är Jeppen försvann. På vägen.
As for me,
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swans's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. but I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Svarar vi på det här då? No need for such animosities. You better change your tone with me. Jealous will not do you any good. Du får bestämma, Kristoffer.
You better change your tone with me.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Blah 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 blah.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Blah 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 blah. I have saved so many lives. Knowledge is our main weapon. No reason to justify my actions to you. Jag tycker den är dryg. Ta den där.
Kan du inte typ knivhugga den?
Jag kan ju äta upp den.
Men gör det då. Eller vad är problemet?
Ja, det kan jag väl göra. Om jag gör spelet svårare dock.
Ja. Ja, men då kanske du inte ska göra det.
Jag vill se han säger först. Vad ska jag ta här då? I have saved so many lives. Knowledge is your main weapon. No reason to justify my actions to you.
No reasons to justify my actions to you, skulle jag säga.
I don't see any reason why I should justify my actions to you.
That's true, Dr. Reed. The only judge has to be yourself. The question is, are you judging yourself hard enough?
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd. Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Ja, jag var med om någonting konstigt häromdagen. En nysning som tog slut. Typ mitt i nysningen.
Va?
Det var så här, ja men du vet, det sticker ju till liksom och kliar i näsan och sen så eskalerar det till en nysning. Men mitt i liksom eskaleringen så bara försvann det och sen så behövde jag inte nysa.
Jaha.
Jag har aldrig varit med förut tror jag. Det kändes jättekonstigt.
Ja, det köper jag.
Där är jag. Nej, det är inte han.
I wish I could be sick again.
Han har nytt att säga.
Hello again, Doc.
Nej. Vad fan är doktorn som...
We'll talk again later.
Där är jag.
I wonder what your last thoughts would be, sir.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true.
Nej.
The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
Blah blah blah.
It's not exactly the best situation in London either. I can't have expected this hospital to be prepared for what was to come.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Just lacks hope.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Any
if she was a man,
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve.
I would eat
but I
those
must admit,
cooks.
He does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Nurse Brannigan is worried about you, Doctor.
She should not have told you that.
Nej.
I will have a word with her.
You don't have to blame her for her honesty.
I'm not that kind of man, my dear Jonathan. Actually, Nurse Brannigan's opinion is the only one I may listen to.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Jag ska inte prata med folk. Låt mig vara. Jag är in på mitt kontor och lurka.
Lurkers.
Jag lurka här inne. Vad är det här då?
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Jaha, ska jag göra det då? Vattna blomjäveln. Här finns det vatten. Craft the treatment for fatigue. Okay. You have enough components to craft a treatment for fatigue. Yes. Treatment for anemia. Treatment for fatigue. Craft. Craft. Nice. Kan jag göra en till? Det är dumt kanske. Men jag kan uppgradera pinnen. Oh, jag kan! Tänker jag fan göra. Add 3 stun points when the weapon hits. Eller decreases stamina consumption by 10. Oh, stamina consumption. Kanske. Vore nice. Alltså. Nu har jag väl tagit bort yes, nu kan jag inte göra det. Så vad ska vi göra? Så ska vi uppgradera min stamina. Endurance. Behöver vi. Ta en level till. Det är lika bra. Jag tar en level till, ja det kan jag. Jag uppgraderar den här. 2000 XP. Här skulle vi kunna uppgradera. Nice. Han är 300. Level 10. Jag regenerator bullets när jag sover.
Jaha, nice.
Det är en skill som inte många människor
It's locked.
har.
Nej, det är inte många som besitter den.
Det skulle man ha i DayZ. Men det vore ju overkligt.
Både fett overkligt faktiskt. Inte för att DayZ är så jävla verkligt, men ändå.
Sant. Healthy. 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 Jag vet inte ens vad jag ska göra. Bring the medicine to Dwarfy Crane in the patient room. Ja. Jag har inte pratat med den här snubben heller. Vem är det här då?
Säger du, Therese?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Okay.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland.
Ja,
I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced
convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Brip. Ackroyd's aversion for modern methods.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Doctor.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Var det du som skulle ha de grejerna?
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Disease decreases the blood quality of a citizen. Use the correct medicine to heal them. Speak to the patient in room and Dorothy. Vem är det som... Vad är det som är sjuk då? Jaha, antagligen han. Han kan inte prata.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer.
Jag har en såg där. Kan såga av han halsen. Slippa något. Healing a citizen increase the blood quality and reward with XP.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
He's eaten too much cooks.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful.
So painful
I'll let you get some...
Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Do you require medical attention?
I have other concern.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Tänk att komma till sjukhuset med sin son och sen bli utfrågad om hans personliga liv av doktorn.
That's all that matters.
Are you that rich?
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Nice.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived, but we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Blah, blah, blah.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
What?
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other...
Jesus.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Vem var det som... remember, citizen, look for citizens of your mesmerize. Men jag vill inte mesmerize honom om inte chatten tvingar mig. Var det du som tog pröjs?
Dr. Reed, may I help?
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't.
News on the front stated that the Spanish...
It seemed to be for a...
What can you tell me about...
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor...
Can you be more...
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
I am a mental patient.
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
Well, Dr. Swansea certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reed, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do what we can.
How is the duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
I'll see you later.
Och inte hon alltså. Är det hon? Det är väl inte Nurse Hawkins? Är det? Jag tänkte där borta. Buggigt spel annars.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doctor.
Nej.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Den I don't remember. Kan vi komma till den där puben på något sätt? Kanske inte vi kan. Det kan lite... Det var ju här någonstans. Kan jag teleportera typ? Kan jag inte. Jag zoomar in då. Kan jag? Där var den ju. Jag kan springa dit och bota den där gubben. Det hade varit lite cool. Det är faktiskt, det vart lite coolt om jag hade kunnat gjort det. Jaha, det var här alla de här jävlarna var. Inte om jag kan ha ihjäl dem. Nästa eller vad? Nej. Aj, Jesus Christ. Dö inte.
Dör du?
Nej, inte ännu. Vad är jag? Poison eller vad de var?
Poison.
Dog allihopa. Nice. Det var inte så värdelös jag som jag trodde. Vart är den där jävla puben? Oj, det är jättelångt bra. Men inte riktigt det där jag sa att jag skulle göra. Tack. Hitta lite fett och en skruv i en soptunna. Har du spelat Witcher 3 någon gång?
Nej, jag har fan inte gjort det.
Ett väldigt speciellt looting-system i det spelet.
Alltså, sånt här tycker jag, alltså jag hatar sånt här. Jag tycker sånt här är så förjävligt.
Vadå för något?
Där i en sån här köp och säljgrupp har någon gjort, har admin gjort ett inlägg. Varan ska kunna tas till eller runt Hudiksvall. Detta är en lokal köp och säljsida. Annons i andra kommuner kommer tas bort. Kan den levereras till Hudiksvall så skriv det i annonsen. Och så alla i kommentarerna bara okej. Det här är bra, okej, då vet vi, okej. Han bara, men alltså, kan ni sluta? Kan ni lägga av?
Men sprang jag rakt in i en stund. Han är en jävla sköld där nu. Nej, jag hade ingen XP heller på sig. Ja, men...
Alltså, jag tycker det är så jävla knepigt att så här, ja, men även om man aldrig har kollat på en stream man följer, då kan man få upp sig ibland bara, någon gav dig en nivå 1 prenumeration.
Ja. Aj. Jesus Christ. Ge mig grym loot. Det är fan 10 minuter att ta ner den. Jag har bara, subbat på en streamer någonsin. Alltså betala.
Jag har aldrig gjort det.
Och då var det för välgörenhet.
Det är en snåljävel.
Jaha, det var välgörenhet när jag gjorde det. Det var för...
Ja, men då är det en...
It's locked all right.
Ja, det var för någon barncancergrej.
Ja.
Kan ni inte komma tillbaka till puben? Jo, kanske. Inget fel håll. Jaha, men jag har ju fan sprungit... Ah. Jag kom längre bort än vad jag skulle. Åh jävlar!
Me, I'll not die in some piss stinking alley reeking worse than a week old lavvy.
Hände?
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
De försvunnit precis.
She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Taskigt.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Ja, nu gav jag ju bort min sista.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss stinking alley reeking worse than a week old lavvy.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of a street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
Bra vinkel.
What? You saw what happened. Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions if you promise me to set your gun aside.
Dr. Reed Bond.
Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
Lyckas trigga ett quest som inte verkar vara...
I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
The word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar, a coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
These are barbaric methods. You shouldn't feel ashamed. Get the grip.
What about those we left behind, face down in the mud? You want to change places with them? You cannot waste your chance at life this way.
It's not that simple. I wouldn't have expected you to understand. I don't even know why I spoke to you in the first place.
Hint failed? No.
You don't seem well, Benjamin. Do you need any help?
I always feel ill, sir.
Treatment for migraine.
I will see you later.
Eh?
A gun out.
Where the boots will be proud of me. I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Var det inte ett safe alltså? Nej.
I cannot enter.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Sort of bloody joke to you,
Där var det ett hideout. Den då? Fattar inte vad som är gata och vad som är annat. Jag är helt fel håll. Jag måste springa och kissa.
Kör vart?
Tror du Iggesund räknas till Hudiksvall?
Ja.
Delsbo då? Hur långt tänker den där killen att man måste kunna köra varan liksom? Eller?
Inom Hudiksvalls kommun.
Ja. Om jag säljer en sak i gruppen får jag inte posta den till något annat ställe.
Ja, du måste kunna skicka den till Hudik.
Jag skickar den från Hudik då.
Ja.
Det måste ju varit folk från olika andra län som har hållit på och skrivit i gruppen och sålt saker och sen så...
Det blir säkert Bollnäs, Söderhamn, Nordanstig och sånt där.
De där... jävlarna där.
Utbörningarna.
Hålla på att infiltrera dem då.
Ja, eller hur? För jävligt.
Var inte någon jävla treatment for... Skit på det. Ja, jag glömde bort. Jesus Christ, hemskt. Watery sturdy blood sample. Måste vi analysera på en gång. Det var inget annat. Blood as addiction, new collectible. Vampires drink blood. This may be their specific trait. Ja. Vampyrer är besatta av blod. Det är som att vi visste det redan. Riktigt långa loadings på det här spelet. Så då att jag försökte få tag i folk till som har jobbat på Lidl då.
Jaha, nej.
Jag försökte göra Jag skrev i en massa grupper och frågade efter folk som har eller jobbar på Lidl. Tänkte försöka göra ett reportage om det, men jag har inte fått några svar än så länge. Kanske får skriva på Flashback eller. Vart är jag nu då? Det är konstigt att jag ville ner dit, men jag hamnar här uppe. Jag vet inte vart jag är. Nej, jag råkade äta upp en dotter. Det är det jag spelar för roll egentligen. Blod som blod. Talk to Edgar Swansea. Loading får prata med NPCs. Det är ändå rätt nice.
Då vet man att det är hög kvalle.
Ja, verkligen. Kanske jättemycket dialog att ladda.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Such a pleasure to see you again.
Något nytt jag har låst upp.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Kör. Nej just det, han sålde bara såna här grejer. Clay's Hatchet. Kanske jag kan göra migränmedicin till den där gubben där borta.
To disapprove of our methods, and you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better.
You will kindly apologize when you feel.
You always knew the words to calm the children.
Hon är ju försvunnen, hon ju. Eller bra scriptat att de där är borta. Att han börjar prata om att Nurse Crane är försvunnen när hon inte är den. Då vet vi att det är ett quest som kommer komma upp. Nu vill jag se om jag kan göra migränmedicin. Vad är det här?
Jaha, är du doktor då eller?
Japp. Vem är det som har varit inne i mitt kontor då? En jävel som har brutit sig in här.
Jag tänker nog gå och lägga mig här faktiskt.
Ja, nice. Låter bra det. Jag kör en stund till.
Ja, men du får ha så kul och så hörs vi väl imorgon kanske.
Ja, det gör vi.
Ja,
ha det bra.
med dig.
Hej då.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
How stimulating.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Okay. Your words bring comfort. I'm a living paradox. This is no gift. I'm a living paradox.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Yes.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Nice. Letter of Rakesh Shadana, Pembroke Hospital. Dear Dr. Swansea, I will be glad to manage the temporary morgue as soon as it's open, as I already told you. I was a doctor during the war. Lärde vi oss nytt av honom då? Yes, det gjorde vi. Det var vi lärde oss. Rakesh is not afraid of death. Rakesh has been appointed as a medic by mistake during the war. Oj då. Betyder den där plusset då? Recovering. Be healthy. Fatigue. Ja, men det var ju han jag försökte hitta ju. Migraine. Så vi behöver en migränmedicin och en fatigue-medicin. Nice.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Well, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skull, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A Skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
Oh. We'll see each other again.
Hopp. Något annat att loota här inne. Det är svårt att se, det är precis som i Witcher. Warning letter. Pembroke Hospital. Dear Dr. Swansea, I must inform you of my deepest reservation concerning Dr. Thoreau Stickland and Harvey Fiddick case. Concerning... Mr. Fiddick has been hospitalized after a severe work injury. He may permanently lose the use of his arm if not treated adequately. Dr. Strickland claims that the surgical procedure may save the man's arm completely. I, Dr. Strickland, I say it may also sever its functions for good if complications arise. Our young colleague is an audacious and daring surgeon who might prove a great professional in a few years, but for now he lacks the skills to perform such risky procedure. Need I remind you of the mistakes he made in the past? Since Dr. Strickland refused to listen to me, I strongly advise you to forbid him to perform such hazardous experiments. Okay. Mer hints. Rare species scholar... jäklar. Visst. Låter bra. Vi måste ha en till. På mig. Men herregud. Ta en mot fatigue. Men göra 2 va? Fan. Vad gör de här grejerna? Regenerate 300 health. Ah, okej. I see. Jag bara hoppa ut här. Det var något som glittrade. Opium.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough.
Låt man håller på att dö.
Do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Slå vad om att hon är vampyr. Det är ut som en vampyr.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp. The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
Det är snyggt hur de byter ton liksom efter olika konversationer.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush.
Oj, Jesus. Råkar vi flörta med vampyr?
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Kanske.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Äta upp han.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
Or a doctor.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Aha.
I'll take care of it.
Nej, jag skulle fråga
Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
I'll meet that woman
My
now.
life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Jaha. Fan, jag hade velat springa till bota den där killen jag fattar inte kartan. Vad är väg på den här liksom? Det är det vita som är väg. Då behöver vi bara springa hitåt, eller? Är det ner hit, eller? Jag tror att det är här. Du kliver över den. I första avsnittet, i första delen så kommer man till en bar. Och där är en snubbe som är sjuk. Det vore kul att bota honom. Nu när jag har the means to do it. Men jag fattar inte riktigt kartan. Är det hitåt jag ska röra det? Yes.
Go back home, idiot!
Vad håller du på att säga?
It's a leech! Kill it! Crop the leech, boys! Bloody leech!
Himla random. Jag spelar. Antar att jag inte fick någon. Det är bara soptunnor som ger loot. Bra ut. Jag antar att jag ska över bron, eller?
Over there! It's one of them
Oh my god. Nu börjar det likna något. Ja. Okej. Nej. Jag ska inte de där. Det är fan immun mot allt. Förutom. Aj. Springer lite casually. Fortsätter då. Nu är jag här. Jag måste alltså hitåt då, eller? Verkar rätt? Eller? Jesus, 3 stycken. Han tog inte det där. Fan. Aj, aj, aj. Nej. Han blockar mig. Ah! Nej. Är det en till då? Nej. Jo. Careful, then don't sit the master. Gosh. Vem är det jag ska rädda? Vart är du då? Jag har ingen liv. Jag har ingen liv. Fuck. Ett slag så är jag död. Ja. Fan. En lång loading. Som det ska vara. Hej. Just det. Jag börjar här borta. Jesus, det var långt bak. Kan vi hoppa över de här? Springa till den där. Eller är det bara att jag drar på med fler? Ja, kanske inte var jättesmart. Alltså, en otroligt usel vinkel. Är det där liksom instant hit eller? Om vi kan ta de här nu då. De är ju jättemycket högre level än mig. Dubbelt så hög level. Fuck those guys. You have been defeated. Now look at this loading screen for 2.5 hours. This is why we need a new console, people. Of course att vi måste ha en liten paus i mitten också. Okej, då undviker vi dem ett tag. Så försöker vi hitta vägen till baren istället. Kan vi springa här kanske? Fuck. Jag kanske springa på en boss istället. What the fuck? Glömmer bort att jag inte kan göra sådär. Fuck. Sluta. Träffar mig nu så är jag död. Nej! Vad är det här? Är det ett tecken på att jag inte borde vara här eller? Måste bara vänta på loading i 60 minuter. Jag är hemskt ledsen. Men det ger en lite tid att filosofera och tänka lite på vad som är viktigt i livet. Pengar, kärlek, bananer, något i den stilen. Kost, motion. Vad annat är viktigt? Husdjur. Men, ja, vad fan. Om jag inte vill döda den. Nu kör vi... Eller, vart? Med Dark Souls strats här. Vad fan tänker...
Stupid beast!
Nu tänker han för... Det här var det ju definitivt inte. Jag ville bara hitta den här baren. Skit på det då. Då skiter vi i det. Då går vi tillbaka. Vi är för låg level för att vara här. Har ni lyssnat på Kallarpodden då? In och lyssna, länk i beskrivningen. Vi kommer nog inte slå och lyssna rekord i året, tror jag. Men nog blir det näst bästa året. I alla fall. Det är lite kul. Att vi hittar en standard liksom. Tog all min stamina. Kändes det som. Var fel. Är det fel? Vad händer nu? Random loading. Jag vill prata med den här stackaren istället. Jag tror inte vi har nog med XP och levla 8 levlar eller? Jag lärde mig något nytt om henne också.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Förutom rumors of shady business. Ja, där.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
You don't have the rights. Bla bla bla, vi är snäll.
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett's.
Investigation update. They already fall. Fick vi någon annan ledtråd när vi... Nej, vad är det här då?
Have you heard rumors of anything underhand going on here at the hospital?
No, Doctor. Never.
No, doctor. Never.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Save the old man by defeating the... Jaha, den grejen. Men jag kan ju inte. Kommer det questet vara där nu tills jag har räddan, eller? Freaking annoying. Har du något nytt att säga?
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
There are a lot of secrets round here. I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reed. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the oldest patient here.
What's going on between you and Nurse?
Där har vi redan pratat.
Pippa's tired. Tired of all...
Goodbye, Milton.
Bla bla.
But the suffering continues.
Har du något nytt att säga då?
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
I need blood, doctor.
About the blackmailing. Jaha,
Have you
blacksmith
heard
tror
of
jag
any
det.
blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games. My secrets are beyond their comprehension, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood? Why him?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think we have a bond of some sort. We've both suffered so much. He's the only mortal I find interesting.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else? I'm not that cruel, Doctor.
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood are romantically involved?
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even though he disguises it. But I am not the woman he needs. No, for I am a vampire, Doctor.
No, for I'm a vampire.
Do you require my services, Miss Howcroft?
I have no need for your
I'll leave you.
Gärna lite blod då.
effect on me. But the suffering continues.
Good evening, Mr.
Evening.
Have you heard rumors of underhand dealings in the hospital?
If you want to know what's going on here,
Vad hände där nere i
you
hans
better talk to
skrev?
Miss Jones. She knows everything. Especially what she shouldn't.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really happened?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It
Han
happened during the
ljög.
leave. It was an accident.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore.
Ja,
in Rouen.
såklart.
Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Taskigt.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans. And it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Jag tar här då.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
Typiskt fan.
Why lie?
Come on.
I
don't want to...
Jag kan inte välja något annat.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded.
Can I ask?
It's the pain, sir.
Det här har vi redan pratat om.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Hello again, Dr. Reed.
Han har ingenting coolt att säga.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton.
Slösar på tid och
We'll
sitta
talk
där.
again later.
Här är Harriet. Dyka upp fler och fler människor istället.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for
Hela den här
alarm,
funktionen.
madam. I'm Dr.
Klicka på-
Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Shut up!
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
That's it. Blame the old and infirm. I see those little bitches' greedy little eyes.
Jesus,
Just
vilken elak
waiting for
tant.
me to pop off they are.
Ät upp nå.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut.
Kan vi sända det här på Twitch eller?
Scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Har du verkligen det?
Miss Jones. Now,
Well,
have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
it would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessional.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone missing here, you know. Poof, without a trace.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin. The proper sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
Jeez.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost house and all.
I see.
No one comes to visit, you know. Not even my own flesh and blood.
I'll come and visit you.
Stackarn.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
The daily routine.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our
Hade det med hela
Who
det?
says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Sant.
What can you tell me about the
Let me guess.
Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
There again.
Jag gillar inte den här tanten. Heter hon Hovercraft?
Good evening, Doctor.
And good evening to you, Doctor.
Have you heard any talk of blackmail going on in the hospital?
If you're running some official inquiry, you had better question the patients. They know more than the staff, especially old Miss Jones.
Blah, blah, blah. Ah.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Question? I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Ooh.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real cause of your dislike for Dr.
Han låter så jäkla arg.
Refuses to admit that your
Tell me,
is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
Det är mer hints.
Goodbye, Dr. Strick.
Fick vi en hint om den här snubben? Han kan inte prata med.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening,
Have you heard talk of any blackmail here at the hospital?
No, nothing.
Ja, det är han.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me.
Det är som att det är Gandalf
Now
typ som
I
pratar.
may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself.
Hurt myself.
What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Är dina barn då?
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Ellen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Tranan. Where is the crane? Är hon försvunnen nu igen eller? Eller på riktigt? Det är ingen. Unknown? Unknown? What?
So many deaths.
Har det han som är unknown? Jag kan inte prata med.
Is our little mystery
I think of nothing else.
my situation?
Vadå investigate citizens actions? What am I doing?
To calm the children, Helen. As for me, what a blundering idiot.
Weird. Dr. Trana.
The Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know. I met him in New York once.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation.
Vart är hon någonstans?
Termination.
I know I can count on you. I wish I could say it. What must I do? What must I do?
Eavesdrop. Then behöver especially the heart will emit a distant globe by looking to the new version.
This isn't even my neighborhood.
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but... well, we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend. What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
This is a dangerous part of town. What are you doing here?
We were looking for the Pembroke Hospital. We both need help. Treatment, I mean. To get some sleep. Just need to feel better, sir.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is... nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
No thanks, sir.
I have all the information.
Thank you. I do? Relax. What must I do? This isn't even my neighborhood.
Don't worry, we're safe.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Hej på det. Hej. Kom det en katt. Vad hände med Atton Oswald då? Sluta bryta som mamma.
Have you found us?
Not yet.
All right.
I have all the information.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Var det den där? Jaha, där var det supers. I'm some stupid.
It's locked, all right.
Jesus Christ, vilka långa loadings.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him.
Of course it has.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Ah, vad det laggar. fylla på med blod. För att spelet håller på att ge upp på mig. Det är lite lurt ut just nu. Okej. Jaha. Ja, men vi avslutar väl här, då byter vi lite spel. Så tack. Kommer jag tillbaka alldeles strax.